This man wanted to gain demonic power by raising the dead and asking for help from the devil. But unfortunately, the curse spread so that innocent women and did not know what was the target. The curse continued to do its action so that the possessed woman became wild and killed people. A man named Stephen was on a hill, far from the population. He was doing a ritual with a man named Thomas Renhauer. At that time, Thomas planned to resurrect his deceased child. His body had even turned pale and was likely to rot. Thomas asked for the devil's help by creating a ritual that was believed to be able to resurrect the dead. He even had a sect and several followers. They believed that the energy of his followers could make Thomas's child rise again with the help of the devil. Stephen reminded him not to go too far with this ritual because it might not work. But Thomas remained adamant and believed that what he did would not be in vain. Even if Stephen got in the way, he might kill him. When the sun was directly above them, they began the ritual, Thomas holding a knife and a small cup. Unfortunately, the ritual did not go as planned. Thomas had a seizure and was rushed to the hospital by Stephen. Thomas was immediately admitted to the emergency unit. The doctor tried his best, but he felt something strange about Thomas's behavior. Meanwhile, this young nurse named Sherri, she is one of the innocent and loyal young nurses who accompanies her boyfriend who happens to be a doctor at the hospital. Sherri has a friend named Tara who is crazy about one of the athletes named Marcus, who happened to be in the hospital because of a car accident. Tara tried to go to his room, but unfortunately, Marcus was still traumatized and did not want to be disturbed. Tara did not expect this to happen. Of course, she was disappointed, so she left Marcus to give him a chance to calm down. Sherri lives with Peter, and one day when Peter left for work, Sherri felt something enter her room and began to control her body. It was invisible, but it seemed like Sherri was possessed by something evil. Taking care of patients at home is not easy. Some are still traumatized, some cannot be controlled to take medication or be given injections. So one of Sherri's friends named Beth made a trick so that her patient would follow what was ordered by giving him something unexpected. On the other hand, Tara finally became friends with Marcus. Marcus was calmer and had begun to accept the presence of other people around him. When it was break time, Sherri was seen going out by car. She went to a public cemetery staring at something with a sharp gaze. Stephen turned out to be alive, and now he was an unclear, unemployed man. At that time he was terrorized by an invisible figure. His residence was messed up, and it was possible that it was Thomas's evil spirit who had become a demon. Meanwhile, when Sherri saw Marcus wearing a strange bracelet, she seemed angry and didn't like it. Marcus felt Sherri's presence at that time, but Sherri just kept quiet, then talked about this to Tara. Tara was sure that it was just Marcus' hallucination due to the medication he was taking. Sherri went to Dr. Nelson, the doctor who treated Thomas. Sherri said she had a package for Dr. Nelson, but when Dr. Nelson opened Sherri's car trunk from behind, she was stabbed by Sherri using a farming tool. Sherri returned to the hospital and surprised Tara, who was changing clothes. Sherri had been acting strange lately. Even Peter noticed it. One night he saw and witnessed the changes Sherri experienced. She spoke and her voice changed to a man's voice full of anger while saying she would continue to claim victims. Peter tried to consult with the head of the hospital about what had happened to Sherri recently, until they remembered what Thomas said a few months ago. What Sherri said was the same as what Thomas said before he died. Thomas, after receiving treatment from the doctor, was treated for several months in a worrying condition, as if he lost his mind and kept talking about the devil. When Thomas died, the evil spirit came out and looked for a new host, which was none other than Sherri as an innocent human being. The only way to stop the evil spirit was to burn Thomas's body or body buried in the cemetery. This was conveyed directly by Stephen, who spoke to Peter. But Peter did not believe him and thought Stephen was just a crazy person. Stephen did not stay silent. He continued to chase Peter wherever he went. He had to know where Thomas's body was buried. The problem was Peter and the hospital were not allowed to tell this to anyone else. A chase ensued between them until Stephen suddenly lost control of his car. Then Thomas's shadow appeared while laughing at him. Stephen tried to shoot Thomas's shadow, hoping to disappear, but the shadow continued to exist so that Stephen lost control even more than his car plunged into a ravine. Luckily, Stephen still had time to jump out. On the other hand, Tara was helping Marcus clean his body. Then she was attracted to the bracelet Marcus was wearing. Marcus said the bracelet was his grandmother's legacy. The bracelet could protect him from evil done by evil spirits or demons. Even the wearer could realize something evil in someone's body, and in this case, Sherri felt something possessed her. She continued to terrorize people, especially the doctor who was once responsible for the death of Thomas's body. Not only that, Sherri also targeted Marcus, who was helpless in the hospital. Luckily, Tara came and thwarted his action. Then Peter appeared to prevent the heinous act. Meanwhile, Stephen one night secretly searched for Thomas's death file, hoping to find where his body was buried. After getting his goal, Stephen went to take Thomas's body to a factory so he could burn it there until it was finished. Unfortunately, what he burned was not Thomas's body. His shadow appeared while mocking him and leading Stephen to become emotional. Stephen, who was annoyed and emotional, then tried to catch Thomas's shadow, but he fell into a large barrel filled with hot liquid until he died. On the other hand, Marcus told Beth and Tara to stop the evil spirit that possessed Sherri. They have to find Thomas's body and burn it. Tara knows where the hospital buries patients with strange symptoms. The location is quite far from there, dark and scary. At first they had difficulty finding where Thomas was buried until Tara found it. They have to burn the body quickly because Peter is in danger. He found a woman dead in his house, then Sherri appeared covered in blood while holding a knife. Successively, Beth and Tara were on time. The evil spirit that possessed Sherri finally disappeared. But unfortunately, Sherri lost her mind and was put in a mental hospital with special security.